Very, very, very important announcement. This hat right here. See, this is the storytelling hat. When I have a story to tell, or I just want to sit here and just talk to the camera, I put this hat on. Anyway, enjoy the video. Alright, real quick, before we start, I just wanted to point out that for Christmas, I did ask for, not only did I ask for a wider angle lens, but it's also going to be able to autofocus. The camera that I'm using right now to film my face, it doesn't have a motor inside it that allows autofocus. And plus it goes down to 18 millimeters, but the one I'm asking for goes to 10. And the lower the millimeter, the wider it is. So anyway, today I am going to be telling you the time I almost got arrested over something I didn't even do. I had nothing to do with it at all, and I almost got arrested for it. Me and my 3 other friends. So I did actually tell the story already on the channel, but back when I uploaded that, I didn't have a whole lot of subscribers. Plus it was really low quality, like I didn't have a very good microphone. I did a story on the backflip that I failed in the middle of English class, and you seem to like that, so I'll definitely keep doing stories like this. Not that my life is insanely interesting to the point where I have a lot of stories to tell. Anyway, I just want to tell this one again because I have a better microphone now, and some of you may not have actually gone back on my channel to see that video, so let's get into it. So this happened quite a few years ago. I was with my friends Bailey, Luke, and Jack, all of whom you have seen on the channel. Yes, I just used the word whom. I don't even know if I used it right. I really have no clue. Whomstead it of. Okay, so I was hanging out with 3 of them. We were all doing parkour together. We were up by this church, and you know, we're just hanging out doing parkour, like just minding our own business. We're in the huge parking lot of the church, and there's a school. I think it's like an elementary school. It's literally like right by the church, and there's a playground. But there's a huge wall blocking, or you know, the wall is the church itself. So we couldn't see the playground from where we were. But we just see, walking from out behind the wall that was blocking the playground, we see like just a bunch of like, you know, high schoolers. At the time we were like in middle school, I would think. So, you know, we see a bunch of these like older high schoolers, like definitely upperclassmen. We see them like just walking, and they're just walking down the street. And then eventually they look over and they notice us. And then like, we look away from them, and then I look back and they're running. It's like they saw us and they just started running or something. So that was really suspicious. When I saw that, I was like, what? But for the most part, I just disregarded that. I ignored it. And I just kept on doing parkour with all my friends. And so like maybe 5-10 minutes later, I see like a cop car coming up, and it was going in the direction that the teens were heading from. So the cop car is going over there in that direction. I don't know for sure if there was a fire truck. I want to say there was, but I don't entirely know. So anyway, we see all these city officials, you know, going to that area, and you know, we all noticed them. We're just kind of like, what's going on there? So Bailey was like, I think they want to talk to us. Like he just randomly said that. I was like, what? And like I didn't really want to go talk to them because they were just, you know, they're doing something over there. You know, we're doing something over here. You know, I kind of want to stay over here, but you know, Bailey, he starts walking over to, you know, where all the people were. So I'm like, okay, so I follow him. So the whole group, you know, we're all going over, and there's this officer. There are 2 of them. They come out and they meet us halfway, and I'm like, okay, they do want to talk to us. Okay, unfortunately, I do not remember the exact conversation. I can barely remember really anything that he said, but I'm pretty sure he came up, you know, he's just like, hey, what are you boys doing here? And you know, we're just like, oh, we're just hanging out doing parkour. And it sounds really kind of corny when I say it out loud, but anyway, yeah, that's probably what we said. And then so he asked us, he goes, are you the ones that lit that fire? We're like, what? No, because we had no idea. We had no idea that there was a fire that was lit. Like, we literally were just hearing about that for the first time. So we're like, no. So the officer, for the most part, I was 99% sure that he like didn't think that we did it. On the job, you probably figure out how to pick up like liars and stuff, and obviously we weren't lying. Like, we had nothing to do with that. Had absolutely nothing to do with the fire. And yeah, so he's, you know, he's kind of like accusing us like, hey, are you the ones that lit that fire? And you know, he's telling us like, you know, arson can get you in jail for a long time, and you know, all that. You know, he's telling us not to do fires, not to light fires in places. We're like, yeah, we know. And one point in the conversation, sorry, there was dust that was flying. I had to blow it. Anyway, one point in the conversation, he got like, I don't know, he started like kind of yelling, like raised his voice. He goes, quit acting like you're 6. And he like looked straight at Jack, and Jack was just like, and oh my god, it was so funny. But anyway, so eventually he lets us off. I was pretty sure that we were gonna get at least arrested and taken to the station for like questioning or something like that. Like, that's kind of what I figured was gonna happen. But yeah, it ended up just turning out like, really, he didn't care. Like, he probably figured that we weren't the ones that did it, and like we weren't lying. And it makes sense, because it's like, if we lit the fire, why would we just like stick around in the area and like literally do nothing? Like, what is the point? Like, why would we stick around, especially if we see cop cars coming to where we just lit the fire? Why would we stick around and then come talk to you? So it's like, obviously we couldn't have lit the fire. That wouldn't have even made sense. So I did tell them, I'm like, well, I saw some teenagers, you know, walking from the playground, and they head that direction. And he goes, okay, we'll send someone down there. And yeah, it was a little, you know, frightening, because I was just like, oh God, are we getting arrested? But obviously we didn't do anything, so we didn't have anything to worry about. We were just hanging out, doing parkour. Something I think is funny now. So Bailey, I guess he got like a cut or something from when we were doing parkour, probably doing like a wall run. He got a cut on his hand somewhere. So I thought it was so funny. He goes up to the officer and he's like, do you have a band-aid for me? And the officer's like, no, it's just a flesh wound. But I thought that was so funny. Or he did have a band-aid, like he gave him one, but he was like, it's just a flesh wound. Anyway, I just think it's funny now because it's like, we literally went from sitting there being like yelled at by this cop and being like accused of arson to like him just asking for a band-aid. I just thought it was really funny. Anyway, yeah, this is not as interesting as a story. It's, you know, anyway, so yeah, that's really it for the story. Just wanted to retell this in case anyone, you know, might be interested in hearing this, because I thought, you know, it's kind of interesting of a story. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. If you want to hear more stories like this from my life, then go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe for more content, comment below, say something awesome, say something nice to me, and I will, you know, I'll give that like that heart thing onto your comment, and I'll say thank you, and it'll be great. So you should do that. If you're new, be sure to subscribe, and I will see you next time.